Sitting on that good old. Come on, listen, everybody say, I know we'll go sailing through the air. I got about 200 the other door. Say, I'm going to.
Hello and welcome to Fix Your Sins. I'm God and we have two very special guests for you today. Captain Ahab and First Mate Starbuck of Nantucket's greatest whaling ship, the Pequod. Just yesterday, the ship met its final match. The Pequod was wrecked by the great white whale Moby Dick, who has taken the lives of so many of our previous guests to the program. To interview our fallen sailors, we head to the belly of Moby himself. Let's go fix some sins! Hello, sailors.
Hi, tomorrow.
Let's start off with a few questions for our guests. So, why did you two start off on this voyage?
I've been on many whaling voyages in my lifetime, and my motivation has always been to hunt as many whales as possible. The more whales you hunt, the more oil you can harvest, and the more money you'll make. The owners entrusted me to fill as many barrels with as much oil as possible, and that has always been my first priority.
And your motivations, Ahab?
I went off of this voyage in search of the great white whale, Moby Dick. Many years ago he bit off my leg, forcing me to rely on this ivory peg. He made me rely on others for my survival. I set off to discover Moby Dick and find that inscrutable malice that sinewed through him. I sought to seek and find the truth behind the great mask of its power.
Why did you think you could kill Moby Dick?
I am a slave to nobody. I believe that if I wanted something, there would be nobody or nothing to stop me. Not even the sun is above me.
But Starbuck, why would you allow Ahab to avoid the intended purpose of the voyage?
I was very conflicted between following my captain's orders and doing what I knew was right. I knew Ahab was in the wrong, but I've always had trouble standing up and opposing authority. I just didn't know what to do.
But didn't you have some opportunities to change the course of the voyage? Why didn't you act on them?
I was too afraid to kill Ahab. I have sinned by running away from what I knew was the right thing to do.
What happened when you encountered Moby?
The white whale killed our entire crew. I led everyone to their deaths, like a leader of prairie wolves into the hidden snare of an Indian.
If I had just killed Ahab and I had the chance, I could have stopped all this madness before it got out of hand. The crew's death is as much my fault as it is Ahab's.
Ahab, after the encounter with the white whale, do you see the limits of mankind's knowledge?
Like my fellow shipmate Pip, I now understand the truth and see that it was my fate to face Moby Dick. There was no way for me to sketch my own path in life, for it was all predestined.
Or at least it was your belief in the end that your life was predestined. Do you still believe in free will, Ahab?
Nay, for now I realize that I was a fool. Fate is real for everyone, and no one can control their own destiny. Throughout my life I have met many prophets. My own mother predicted that I would lose my leg, and my crewmate Fadala foresaw all aspects of my death. Yet, when I declared that I would kill Moby Dick, it did not happen. Moby made a fool out of me, and he murdered my entire crew. My free will is dead. I have no power in my own life, for I am controlled by a fate I cannot escape.
Would have you done anything different if you were given another chance?
I would, but I still cannot control my own fate. However, I now realize that I was wrong to seek revenge after an animal. I do not know if Moby was the agent or the principal of God, but that mysterious force was most certainly part of him. When you go against that force and try to understand it, try to understand what controls us, you can be punished. Humans cannot understand everything, and I was mistaken to try.
How about you, Starbuck? Do you still believe in free will?
My free will was the reason the whole crew of the Pequod suffered for Ahab's monomania. I have let down my fellow sailors, and I regret the decision I made not to kill this mad captain. Fate does not control the outcomes of our lives, but rather our actions that affect the people around us.
It seems that Starbuck's idea of free will reflects more on reality, while Ahab's belief in fate to kill Moby Dick is just a state of his monomaniac mind where he had nowhere else to turn to. Thank you both, Starbuck and Ahab, for taking the time to answer our questions. You both have admitted your sin and realized your mistakes and how you could have changed them. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching. I'm God. Fix your sin.
And the wheel goes sailing to the air.
It seems that Starbuck's idea of free will reflects his to turn to. Thank you both, Starbuck and Ahab, taking the time. You both have removed this. It seems that Starbuck's idea of free will reflects really emphasizing the free too. Thank you both, Starbuck and Ahab, for taking the time to answer these questions. You both have admitted your sins and your wrongdoings and learned from them. Thank you both, Starbuck and Ahab, for taking the time to answer these questions. You both have admitted your sins and learned from your wrongdoings. You both have reflected on your sins and learned your wrongdoings. You both have reflected on your sins, learned from your mistakes, and changed who you want to be in life. So going forward. Well, Ahab's belief in fate to kill Moby Dick was just a what? Thank you both, Starhab. Thank you both, Starhab and Thank you both, Starhab and Ahab. It seems that Starbuck's idea of reality... I hate this so much.